So in the most recent article that somebody decided to write against my perspectives and the work that I'm doing, they focus on this shirt, right? White silence equals white consent, and Black Lives Matter, of course. And, you know, I just think it's interesting. This has also been the shirt that's caused the most discomfort, I think, amongst staff that see it, right? And I think part of that is because they, you know, people that have reservations or disagreements with the Black Lives Matter movement, like the perceived tactics or goals or whatever it may be, feel like you're saying, you know, if you're not saying Black Lives Matter, then you don't think Black Lives Matter or something along those lines. But really it's, you know, white silence equals white consent and white silence equals violence is really about talking about remaining neutral in the face of oppression, in the face of injustice, and then going through all through our history. And so, you know, I think a lot of white guilt and a lot of discomfort pops up when people see that, and that's okay. That's the intent of the shirt, is to get people to think and to question things. But what I think, like the alt-right article, I think the implication of people reading the headline was like, white people have to stay silent. And I do encourage white people to try to be a little bit more quiet and to listen to people of color, especially when we're talking about issues that directly affect people of color. But that doesn't mean that you have to be silent, and that doesn't mean that you can't have an opinion or a voice. But that's unrelated to even the message of the shirt. The message of the shirt is that it is our responsibility as those who have privilege, as those who benefit from systemic racism, to dismantle systems of white supremacy. And if you are not doing that, then you are consenting to the status quo. And like, I'm sorry if that upsets you, I'm sorry if that bothers you, but that's just the way it is, right? Like if you see something that's happening and you benefit from that system and others do not, then you are consenting to that system unless you are trying to fight against it. And so I, many years ago now, decided that I would try to dismantle systems of white supremacy and to use the privilege that I had to be able to draw attention to these issues and to, you know, work to deconstruct them and to replace them with more equitable, more just, more inclusive systems. And I'm not going to apologize for that. So if the shirt makes you uncomfortable, then sit in that discomfort. You know, part of growth is discomfort. If you're working out muscles, you're going to get sore. And so think about what it means to you and why there's so much discomfort surrounding that. But, you know, people of color have been fighting for their freedoms, for their rights, for equality for a long time, and we have not achieved it yet. And as long as we have not achieved it, then we need to keep drawing attention to it and fighting against it. And if you're not part of the solution, then you're complicit with the problem. That's just the way it is. So we'll see. As you move forward, experience the discomfort, talk to people, hear what people have to say, and hopefully we can all grow. Thanks. We'll see you tomorrow.